It was a maintenance crew who found the young man dead in the restroom. Investigators tell us he was near a message that said, "I am not a killer, I just wanted to get into the caves." So began an emergency closure and an incredibly methodical search of the park for anything else dangerous. The sheriff's office says the 20-year-old was found with 2 ghost guns, self-made assault weapons, as well as fake hand grenades and fake and real pipe bombs.
What's up, Atika Mel? And bro, we were just talking about this after this recent mass shooting where this person killed 18 people, I believe, that these people that plan to carry out these mass shootings and off themselves, why don't they just off themselves instead of killing all these people? But not that I would want somebody to off themselves. It'd be better for them to get help. But when it turns out that they kill all these people, and there was this gunman, they're saying he's 20 over here. The police over here say 22. So I'm not sure what the age is, but gunman Diego Barajas Medina found dead in Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park, wearing full body armor, armored with assault rifle, handgun, and multiple IEDs. And it seems like this guy was planning to do this mass shooting. Far out there, Glen Caverns Adventure Park. This guy could have done some real damage. A heavily armed man killed himself rather than carry out an apparent plan to shoot up a mountaintop amusement park in Colorado. He was found dead in a woman's bathroom by a maintenance crew Saturday morning before it opened. So he snuck into this park, was in the bathroom. He apparently entered the park while it was closed. Barajas Medina was wearing body armor, tactical clothing similar to what police SWAT team members wear. A message was written on a wall of the bathroom where the man was found lying on the floor. "I'm not a killer. I just want to get into the caves." And this is the adventure park here, 160 miles east of Denver, located in Glenwood Springs. This is one of the attractions there. People ride this giant canyon swing. And I mean, I was reading that this is like kind of like a remote place. The hospital, you know, God forbid something happened, it would have been really hard to get people help, I believe. Had a handgun, explosive devices were nearby, some real, some fake. AR-style rifle was on the counter, along with a duty belt holding several ammunition magazines. Really could not say for certain that the man left the message, but I mean, I don't know who would leave that message. There were no prior indications, either at home or school, suggesting the man was planning to attack. But he noted that they didn't do any in-depth investigation. FBI is going to have to review his social medias. And it says, given the preparation, given the amount of weapons and ordnance he had, it almost seemed very likely he intended to use those against the community. He chose not to, which I'm glad he didn't. Multiple improvised explosive devices were found in Barajas Medina's vehicle, police said. Authorities searched the rest of the park, didn't find anything. The park would likely be crowded on a fall weekend during hunting season when people go to the mountain to see changing autumn colors. And given the park's isolated location, which visitors access via gondola, it would have been difficult to get any wounded to the hospital. He lived in the nearby town of Carbondale, where he lived with his mother and brother. They already searched his room. A search of his room by law enforcement found nothing to indicate explosives, and he had no known criminal history, no prior encounters with police. The weapons found on the man were ghost guns, which do not have serial numbers and therefore cannot be traced. What in the heck? His clothing had patches and emblems that gave appearance of him being associated with law enforcement. Some of the suspected explosives turned out to be fake, including several that looked like hand grenades, but others were real. However, no evidence to suggest the explosive devices have been placed elsewhere inside the park. Investigators believe the man drove up to the park on a service road. The park, which is surrounded by state-owned public land, is on a mountain above Colorado River, western Colorado. Its attractions include cave tours, alpine coaster, and a pendulum swing ride perched on the edge of a cliff that sends riders over the river canyon. No employees or visitors were seen when the man entered the park, according to a statement issued on Monday. The house was found outside of restricted areas where rides are located, according to the park. So they did release a picture of this guy that I'm seeing now for the first time. And I watched the video yesterday with Piers Morgan and Vivek, and they were talking about like all the gun violence that's been happening and exploding and what to do about guns and automatic style guns or assault rifles, and they were going back and forth. And you know, Piers is from the UK, and I don't think they have really like guns over there, right? Like the citizens don't have guns, I believe. And Vivek was talking about the Second Amendment, and what he said was that, and I never checked the data myself, but Vivek, which I actually like that guy, he said that once they got rid of like these mental institutions, you know, like we used to have all these like hospitals and like, which there was a lot of poor treatment of these people. I mean, that I don't know when they got rid of those institutions, what the year would be, and I'm very limited on time right now. But I just remember these people were doing, sometimes even being experimented on, treated horribly. But I don't know, maybe if they came up with a better system and brought those back, because he said once they took those hospitals away, he said that supposedly all this violence and mass shootings, it correlated and started skyrocketing. But Piers Morgan also said with the increase of the population, there's going to be increased mental health, people with issues, and accessing these guns, you know. And I don't know, clearly they're not doing enough, because this killer, this mass shooter that killed, I believe it was 18 people, he literally said, I'm going to shoot a place up. Like literally threatened to shoot a base up, I believe. Like he told people he was hearing voices, and even that, he still had his guns, and he was still, you know, didn't get the help that he needed, even though I think he went for 2 weeks maybe to a mental health place. So yeah, comment down below. And I was also like, even today, like, you know, today's Halloween, right? And I was telling my mother, like, because today the kids dressed up at school, I was telling my mother, like, oh, you know, I think I'm going to take her out for a little bit to go do something, just a little whatever. And my mother was like, I don't even think you should take her out. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's just like, these people are crazy. You know, it's gotten to that time where it really is like, look at this person. Thank God he didn't shoot nobody. And not that I don't want anybody to like off themselves, right? My father off himself. But I would rather, if you're going to plant or shoot a bunch of people, I'd rather you try to get some help, even though it seems like when you try to get help, people don't do, right? But I would rather somebody, I mean, at least this guy, I don't know if he felt guilt or what, just ended his own life versus, I mean, I just can't imagine. And when I said the place was kind of remote, but it's actually, like they said in the article, isolated. And so you literally have to take, like, to access this place, you have to take that, I don't know what you call that thing, the gondola, to get to this place. Like, this could have been, and he was armored with IEDs, and his mother and brother living at the mother and brother's house, they had no idea. That's pretty wild. Anyway, take care, you guys. Be safe. Love you.